Peace and love. So today we're gonna do Sunday soaps. I won't do it all the time, but every now and then I'll pop on here and I'll do Sunday soaps in honor of my grandmother. I used to watch soap operas with her as a child growing up, Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, As the World Turns. You all know the deal. So I'll be using the Everyday Oracle. I have a video on here talking about my Norman collection. I include this deck. This deck here is not really for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for negative readers. There's plenty of negative readers on here. It's really, I don't know if I really would recommend it, but I will use it today to see what messages we can have. So pretty much just if you do purchase this deck, if you do end up using it, just be careful with it because it tends to lean heavily on the negative side. And if you're a pessimistic person and you have a harder time seeing the brightness or the bright light, then this deck will confirm all of your negative suspicions, you know. Not saying that's a good or a bad thing, but it's just you want to be careful with this one. But let's see what we can find, what stories we have in it. So we'll do this as episodes to see what the drama could be. This is the Prism Oracle here. I've had this deck in many I've had pretty much all the decks that in this style. And every now and then, maybe every couple of years, I always end up purging it from my collection or pulling it out because then it always seems to hold some of the same stories. And so they come and go, but I still do love them because I love reading cards. So let's see what stories we have today on our first episode of The Not So Young and the Stressless, even though this deck can sometimes bring about stress. But let's see what stories we have. All right. Guys, what story do you want to share? And I'll clarify a little, and I'll use the Prism Oracle to clarify as well. Put that over there for now. What story do we have today? Episode 1 of our soaps. Like I said, in honor of my grandmother, we love to watch them together. It was just our thing that we did. I know if you guys probably grew up watching the soaps as well. They're still on. Victor Newman is he's still working, guys. Catherine Chancellor's passed away. Rest in peace. But some of the main characters, Jack, if you know, you know. All right, so let's see. Some of the most far-fetched storylines. Something is coming to an end for somebody. All right, so they're looking at an ending of a situation or trying to bring about an end to a situation. Let's see. Let's see who we have, who our players are. So we have the conversation. Ooh, conversation about an ending is coming up. Somebody is going to be hurt by that. It's been a long time coming. That's what I get. Looking out with the Belvedere. Ooh, Fortuna in the middle. That's actually really good. All right. The beautiful young woman, independent woman here. All right, let's see here. The Mercante, so business dealings. Maybe business isn't going so well. Malaconia. And the Gran Signore. All right. So this story is about a relationship between a beautiful young independent woman here and a Gran Signore. This person being with the title of Gran Signore means that he's already established. This would be somewhat like the Emperor in the Tarot. This person would probably be married with children. Let's see on the bottom, we have the Lamante. So this is a situation between a Gran Signore and a woman that he's in love with. There can be a child involved or the idea of this man wanting to go into a new beginning. There can be heartbreak. Obviously, there's heartbreak here with the situation. We'll look more into it. Strategy. This person is planning their way out of their situation. They want to move out of it and move into something that's better for them. All right, this is the militare. This is the idea of of strategizing, pretty much. Let's see here. Could have been some arrogance. And then we have the male lovers here as well. So this man wanting to go in a new direction here with this Lamante. Let's get some initial energy out here too, so we can kind of see some of the emotions that are playing out as we go through the reading. Right. Conversation between this man and this woman that he's in love with have come to an end, and it's caused a lot of sadness on both of their behalf. But definitely on his behalf here, he's distraught because this person stepped away from the situation. But there is something beautiful happening here between the two because we have Fortuna in the middle. So ghost, all right. The woman has disappeared, and this man is afraid of losing her forever, afraid of not seeing her. I'm afraid of pretty much communication going dark, right? That's the fear. On the bottom, we have illumination. And so him going through the situation with this woman, this Lamante, or this beautiful young woman here, he's been illuminated to what he wants in his life. All right, something that he wasn't aware of beforehand. All right. So because we have the Mercante here and the Belvedere, to me this is the idea of somebody waiting for something financial to change. And so when we're in relationships with someone long term, everything's established. You live together, your finances are together. You've pretty much built up your life. It's the Ten of Pentacles in the Tarot. But the idea is this masculine energy wants to step away from this situation that he's built up. All right, and he wants to move into a new direction here. And so he's waiting on some dealings when it comes to his financials. So maybe some business dealings, maybe some money he's waiting to come in order for him to even think about moving into a new relationship. Earlier, I talked about how communication, the conversations between these two people have ended. But also, this man wants to bring about an end to a situation by having a conversation with someone, his current partner, that's going to bring about sadness for her because we have her here at the top. This woman here, the new lover, the Lamante, we'll just put her right here, okay, so we can understand. She's officially come in between the woman from the past, right? Because she's right here in the middle between these two women. Even though this is not the married woman, she still plays out as such. Give me some information on the this woman here. Dispiacere. And let me hold it up so you guys can see. Tell me about this energy here. What's going on? Let's just get 2 cards. Militare, Forcita. So, children involved in a situation here. She's coming up as a nemesis. Not necessarily the nemesis to the woman here, but the nemesis to the man. We have the Falsita here. She could be a manipulative character. We don't want to take anything away from this man also because, I mean, he's the star of our show. So we're watching a soap opera. So how you feel about him, that's up to you. It's your choice. But also, he's a manipulator as well. Or he's manipulating a situation or trying to because he's trying to get out of something long term. And he started something with someone without ending something beforehand. All right. So he's not the most upfront character. But also there are lies involved with this connection between these two past lovers. So there are masks that are being worn. There's strategy that's involved, not just on one, but on both parts, because we have the female enemy coming up here. And like I said, I believe it's the enemy to the man, not to the woman. This particular woman has removed herself from the situation because we have the fear. She's gone dark. She's blackout. It's like a blackout. She's not communicating anymore. She's ghosted the person here. So The communication between her and this man is ended, so this is creating an urgency on his part to move things forward, to try to get back into her good graces, or to catch her before something happens, before she finds someone else. Growth. He wants to grow with this woman. His feelings are growing for her, readily, deeply. These are things that were hidden beforehand. Maybe he didn't understand the strength of his feelings, that he feared them here. This middle row here is just showing that this person is hopeful. They're looking to the future. They're looking for that brightness that comes with Fortuna card, and hopes that he can one day meet with her again, or spend time with her again, or communicate with her again, right? Because in his mind, she is his lover. She is his soulmate in this particular reading. The bottom here, the Mercante, the Maliconia, and the Gran Signore. Something here is happening with his financials. Something here is happening with his money. Things aren't turning out well with something that's happening with his job. That can be it as well. He's used to playing the role of the Gran Signore, right? But with all this that's happening, it's kind of taxing his energy. Tell me some more about the Gran Signore here. His energy is being depleted. His financials, something is going on with him financially. His finances could be depleted as well, but also his energy. When you spend your time pining for or wanting to be with somebody or loving someone that you can't be with, it drains a lot of your energy. It's very hurtful to the spirit, and that's what this person is experiencing. I'm curious to see what's happening with the Lamante. What's going on with her? She has the Fortuna behind her, and so she's moving into some beautiful circumstances here. That could be what this man is afraid of. Let's see. Tell me about the Gran Signore. Tell me about him. All right, so let's look at this here, the La Constanza. So this is the idea of strength, constantly needing strength when things are going wrong. So something is definitely not working well in this life right now. This is the theft card. So it goes back to the financials that we were talking about, money being stolen. It could be strategy on the part of this woman here. Maybe dipping into his finances, or dipping into the finances here with the strategy and the falseness card, the female enemy. But something is being stolen from him. Not only the relationship, between this woman, this lover, but financially something is going on as well. This is him trying to figure out. This is the highly intelligent man, the letterato, the professional, the professor, that type of energy. So this person here, the energy of this Gran Signore, whatever they do, they deal in a situation where they have to decipher information. They have to research. They read lots of books. They can be in education. They could be a lawyer. Anything that requires research. This person is extremely intelligent here with this card. They know how to use their mind wisely. This gives me the King of Swords energy. Very sharp mind. Highly intelligent. Normally truthful. I get that as well from this card. That's just the energy that I'm getting. This position has put this person they're in a pretty bad place. Maybe something that was unexpected here. Hunger showed up on the bottom. I didn't see this. So there's a hunger for this relationship, but flew out. The Letterado again. Tell me about the Lamante. This woman here. Tell me about her energy. Let's just get 2 cards. All of them are flipped over. Let me flip them back. Give me 2 cards on her energy, Spirit. Thank you. Is she completely innocent in this situation? Surprise. So they both were surprised by it. She was surprised. He was surprised by the attraction, by the connection that the two shared. But it's come to an end now, right? Because this person is not able to move from the situation. They're not able to get out of it. The hopes are for a reunion, to meet again. But that's not happening right now because we have the ghost card. That's the fear. So let's see. Tell me about the Namante. And this is just the energy, right, of male and female. All right, so she's waiting too. She's waiting. But I get the sense that she's waiting in her own way because we have the Fortuna behind her. She's also looking to move forward because we have the Belvedere. She's looking for something beautiful to move her forward because we see this character facing outward, right? She's facing in the future, a future direction. She's looking out to a better way of living for her. She wants something beautiful in her life, but she's open to communication from this gentleman, right? If he communicates with her, she probably would respond, but she's not going to reach out. She's not going to do it. She's loyal to him as well. There's a loyalty between both of these characters, between both of these people. But when I see her, this energy, she's facing outward with this energy of looking outward as well with both of these cards, wanting something beautiful in her life and willing to step away from this connection in order to receive it. Let's see. Give me a couple more cards with her. And I want to see why the female energy is female, what is it, enemy is here. Denare. So things for her are changing. Maybe she's focusing on her foundations with the Denari card. She's focusing on making a beautiful life for herself, bringing in money. This right here, these jewels, this is the idea of a present. This shows that this person is a gift. She's a gift. But she's a gift that knows she's a gift. She knows her beauty. She knows her worth. These are two cards of abundance. She knows what she has to offer. So she's not willing to stick around. All right, the reunion is here. If the reunion becomes abundant to her, where it's reciprocity with this relationship, she would eagerly walk towards it, but her loyalty would not allow her to harm herself. Tell me about this. Why is this energy showing up as the enemy? Tell me about it. The female enemy. All right. Pensero, deep in thought. I will say that she's surprised too, the long-standing partner, because she thought that it was kindness between the two of them. She thought they were friends, right? But I think she's realizing that she's also trapped in a situation. We have the sacerdote here on the bottom. Maybe she's pulled back as well with this energy. This is the priest. I also keep hearing in my head, because that's how I talk with my spirit guides, emotional blackmail as well. Holding this person hostage here, bringing up things from the past when things were beautiful. I was your friend. How could you do this to me? We had a friendship. We started out as friends. Or playing somewhat of an innocent role here with this Lamika card. Guys, is she the villain in this reading? I don't think so. I don't think she's the villain in this reading, but she's coming up as a villain. Why? Because this is our main character in this episode. You guys have seen a soap before. There are two sides to every story. Really three sides, because the truth is there as well. Let's see. Tell me about this. This innocence here that comes along with this card. Surprising. Something about her is surprising. Tell me about the female enemy. Also, I'm getting the energy that these two started off as friends. All right? Maybe not extremely passionate, because what he's found with this Lamante is passion, because she comes up as a female lover. This might have started off as a friendship, right? And that was the connection between the two with this card here. But now this man is realizing that he wants more. Tell me about this woman. She's brought about a disruption to what they had here. The Lamante. Maybe not a passionate relationship, because we saw the priest. We saw the priest show up. The priest is not dealing in passions when it comes to physical. He's dealing with passion when it comes to spiritual. And so maybe this was a relationship that was a friendship more so than something that was extremely, that had a lot of love. Maybe the love that comes with the loyalty of being a good friend, but not the same thing that he's going to experience with this. That's why the being surprised is there. He was surprised by the emotions that he feels for this woman here, this Lamante. So I don't think this woman is a villain, really. You know, happiness. There was happiness in what they had. The friendship that they had. Maybe not passionate, but it was a friendship. They relied heavily on each other. They were bound to each other here with this card, for good and for bad. But also within that happiness, there was sadness, right? Because no matter what, who you are, if you're with somebody in a love relationship or partnership, you want there to be passion there. You want there to be a powerful connection between the two where you can't keep your eyes off. You can't keep your hands off. That type of energy was missing from that. So it always brought about sadness for both of them, even if it wasn't talked about. But they had trust with each other because there was a friendship there, a loyalty between these two as well. Spirit is saying that, while this was beautiful, while there was a loyalty here, it's time to wipe the slate clean for something else to come in for both of these characters here, to cleanse it and to start fresh. Give me more on this Gran Signore. Not being honest pretty much is what's happened here. But how can you be honest in a situation like this? How can you tell somebody that's been your friend, that you've relied on, all right, that you love, okay? You have to think about the friendship. You have to think about their feelings, right? You have to think about the time that you've put into something, the commitment. How could you tell them, wait a minute, I love you as a friend. I know we've been together. We've been each other's rock, because we have the strength card out here. But I've come across somebody and I've fallen in love with them. And it wasn't planned. It was a surprise. I'm surprised by it, and I would love to see if we can get out of the situation and maintain our friendship. All right. So right now, what's happening here with the Dottore, this is a doctor energy, the Casa and the Stanza. This to me is the idea that there's sadness in the home now. There's a sickness or there's an illness. This person is lovesick because he can't be with the person he wants to be with. And this person is yearning for what they had in the past. They're not interested in moving on. Maybe they didn't feel the passion. Yes, they didn't feel it. But they still were chained or they still were dedicated to this for the long haul without the passion. And so this is kind of what's the word? This has kind of been an upheaval for them as well. But there's sadness in the household because of this, because there's sickness in the household. Love sickness on a part of the masculine energy. This woman knowing that he's in love with somebody else causes her to be sick as well. But they're still there because the house is there and there's nothing but loneliness in the home. He has no one to talk to. She has no one to talk to as well. And this woman here, it's not really about her too much anymore because she's removed herself from the situation. Don't forget she's the ghost. It's about these two coming to terms with what they still have. They have the friendship. Are they willing to hold on to that still? Wanting to leave this situation, wanting to leave this loneliness and go towards something that's beautiful, something that brings about passion. You know, these people aren't young. This is a not so young and the stressless, even though there is some stress here. So these aren't young people. They're not in their 20s. These are people who've spent years together. You're looking at mid-30s to late 30s, 40s, 50s. That's the energy I'm reading for right here. These aren't kiddos. These are people who've devoted a lot of time to each other, a lot of years, without passion, friendship. Let's get a couple more, because I can go forever with it. But this is pretty much it. We'll have to see next episode if things have changed between these two. Spirit, give us a couple cards on the masculine energy. Give us a couple cards. And I'm going to pull one of these love oracle cards. Growth, success, and patience. So things take time, all right? We already realized that. Organization. We see that out here with this man. This Grand Signore, he's not going to just run and jump into situations. He's not going to throw away all that he's built. Because we have money out here on the table. We have stability out here on the table. We saw that with the Strength card. The Strength card is also the idea of standing strong in something, having a foundation. We see the House card out here. So the foundation these two have built is strong. They're not going to run out. They're going to the organization is the idea of careful planning. All right? This person didn't get far. They're the Grand Signore. They have money. They have influence. They have prestige. They're well known. Okay? This is a society card. This person isn't just a stranger. This person is known by many people. So whatever he does in the situation is going to affect his life. So he has to take the time. He has to make sure he's organized. He loves this woman too in his way because their friendship is a friendship. He has empathy for her. So that's also creating tension where he's not going to run out of the situation without thinking of her needs. His focus, though, is still on Miss Lamante. Even though she stepped away, don't forget he's afraid of her walking away for good or not being reached ever again because we have the ghost and the fear card. These are cards of invisibility. He's still working on his success because we have the growth and the success card here. So whatever is happening, this is also happening along with whatever he's trying to build with the Mercante here in the Belvedere. Business communications that he's thinking of. Let's see. Let's do the True Love Oracle. And let's get a card for this Gran Signore. Let's get one card for him. Let's get one for the long-standing partner as well. So first, let's get one. This woman here, She's set. Does she want to be with this man? Yes. Is she loyal to him? Yes, there's a loyalty there. But I will guarantee you that she's more loyal to herself. I'm going to pull one for all three of the characters involved. Let's do the Grand Signore first because he is our star. All right, connection. Being surprised by what it feels like to have a true connection with someone. Not going into a relationship out of necessity. I don't even know if that was here. But it was a friendship there. It was a bond. It was a safeness. It was a closeness that was there. But it wasn't a true connection that comes with true love like this. The spiritual kind like this. The passionate energy where you're looking into somebody's deep, you're looking into their eyes, you're looking into their soul. All right? You two are drinking and having the same ideas about what you want. You're listening to the same music. You're viewing the same sunrise. You're walking on the same beach. You're smelling the same flowers. That type of energy. This person always wanted it, but they didn't believe that it was for them, right? And so they made the choice for friendship because they didn't wait for love. Because if we're talking about 20s and 30s, we're talking about 30s. But this could have happened when they're in the 20s. Sometimes love doesn't come early for all of us. It doesn't come in the early 20s, late 20s. Might not even come in the early 30s. Might come in the mids. You might have to wait for it. But some people don't have the trust to wait for it. And that's what I'm getting with this. Going for comfort instead of waiting for passion. Coming across passion. The divine masculine. Wanting to be with somebody that makes them feel alive. Wanting to be with somebody that makes them feel like themselves. Powerful. Powerful energy. Vulnerable. This person is naked. And they're powerful because they are. Being with someone they can trust. Being with someone they can show themselves to fully all the time. Even in their most tender states. Tell me about this woman who's showing up as a villain. She's not though, guys. But the soap always needs one. Soaps need a villain, but she's not. Because we all are human. Living human experiences, growing and making mistakes, trying to find our way out, trying to find our way up, you know? Tell me about her. Angels, thank you. Luminosity. She also wants to shine bright. She put a lot on this person. That's what I'm gathering energetically. That's what I'm feeling. She put a lot of her hopes and wishes on this person. She bound those things which should reside in the self to this person. That's why it's difficult for her to walk away as well. She has to come to the point where she realizes that everything that's beautiful is within her. This particular woman has figured that out. That's why I'm going to read on her last. But she has to realize that there's beauty in leaving this connection. That's when she'll shine the brightest. Self-respect is on the bottom. Walking away from a situation where you know someone doesn't have those passionate feelings for you out of self-respect, even though it's difficult. Not seeing the beauty, not seeing the brightness in it, but realizing that you will be free. There's freedom here for this person. Tell me about the Lamante, because she has her own struggles too. She has her own worries. She has her own goals, her own ideas. Tell me about her. The silver waterfall, the yin and yang energy. Finding balance within the self, the masculine and feminine energy. Not afraid to walk alone. Not afraid to be both things to yourself. Loving yourself, right? The silver waterfall, that's the idea of being purified or purification. Having hope, all right? Having a high level of spirituality with a silver waterfall. Dating. Uh-oh. That's the fear of this person, of this woman, knowing her worth, because don't forget she came up as the present, the prize, the abundance. Knowing her worth and looking in a direction of somebody who is brave enough and powerful enough to see her as she is and willing to take the chances and the risk to give her this bouquet and to take her out so that she can be seen in the light of day as well. Because don't forget, she's also hidden here with the ghost. She's sacred. She knows her sacred energy. She knows her sacredness. This kind of reminds me, guys, of the soulmate reading I did yesterday, but just with a little bit more detail, you know? Maybe not. The soulmate readings for me are interesting because they're masculine and feminine. If you read them and you're single, you read both parts. It's about bringing the spiritual body into balance. So when I do soulmate readings, you can read both sides and take messages from both of them to apply them to your life to bring about balance. But the reading had some similarities to it in the feelings, maybe because a sacred woman came up. All right, well, that's it for this episode. We will be back for our next edition of Sunday Soaps. I don't know when I'll do another one, but we'll see what comes up next. We'll see what happens with this couple, if they're able to come to terms with this and maybe move on to finding happiness. You know, not letting those moments pass them by. Okay, peace. Take care.